Good morning, everyone. You're very welcome to our webinar this morning. We have Lissa McPhillips joining us from Dynamic Marketing, and she's going to talk to us about the 5 steps to boost revenue for your business. So, Lissa, I'm going to hand you over now. Is that okay?
Perfect. Thank you so
Perfect.
much.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me today. And welcome to Local Enterprise Week. I hope you are taking advantage of all the great things that are going on, both in Bridge Enterprise and in your local LEOs. So please do keep an eye out and see what's going on. There's an awful lot there, an awful lot of supports for small businesses. So do please make the most of it. So as Kieran said there, I'm going to bring you through some actionable steps that you can incorporate into your business that will help you get those sales across the line for 2025. I'm going to chat for about 30 minutes, which then leaves us a lot of time for Q&A. So please do, as we're going along, if you think of any questions, or indeed if you have any questions, maybe not related to what I've been talking about, but related to your business and marketing and growing and expanding, please do reach out and we can tackle them all there. So I think that's about it. Let me kick off now. This is always the tricky bit. Will technology work for us? Let's have a look now. Let me get here. Okay. Now, all right, so as we were saying, 5 steps to boost your sales for 2025. So to kick off, a big thank you to Bridge Enterprise Centre for hosting this today. Thank you to Kieran and Lauren for bringing it all together. So a little bit about me before I begin. As you can see from the logo soup there, I have quite a lot of experience working with both high growth startups like ESAT and Digicel, and also the larger Fortune 500s, as you can see in the mix there, Dell, JP Morgan, Coca-Cola. And in all of those industries that I worked in, marketing was a key strategic piece of the puzzle. It sat at the management table, it contributed, it had targets, it was part of the conversation. So all these learnings that I have built up over the 25, 26 years, gosh, don't I look so young for it? I bring them now together to business owners such as yourselves through my business, which is called Dynamic Marketing. And my elevator pitch for dynamic marketing is that I help businesses create more sales with better marketing. Now, you might be saying to yourself, what is better marketing? And some of the steps that we're, in fact, all the steps that we're going to go through today all contribute to that better marketing piece. So I hope you'll find them helpful. So let's kick off then. The first thing I would very much encourage you all to look at is your goals and objectives. Where are you now and where do you want to get to? Now, for many of you, you may have done this at the end of last year in preparation for this year. Some of you may have started January off getting your thoughts together. Some of you may not be quite there yet. Don't worry, we're still in Q1. You can be excused, you still have time. But I would strongly encourage you to take this opportunity to really sit down and think, right, as I say there, where am I now and where do I want to go to? And the reason for that is if you don't have a direction and a target to aim towards, it's very hard to know what activities and investments you need to make along the way to help you get to that spot. It's also very difficult to figure out how to measure all that. So if you can say to yourself, I want to achieve this, I want to go in this direction, and this is how I'm going to measure it, this is what success looks like for me, that's a great first step. So there are some different areas you might look at. The first ones maybe are revenue oriented. So you might look most certainly at what is your sales target for this year. You might also take a little bit of a deeper dive into that, and you might say, well, what is that revenue number made up of? So for example, do I need to sell more lower margin goods and just get them out as fast as possible, or do I need to focus more on the higher margin goods that may take that little bit longer to actually get across the line? From the B2C perspective, it's also an opportunity to look at stock levels and see, right, is there stock there that I need to get out, that I need to move? What can I be doing to help me get to that bottom line? Another area you might look at under this section would be maybe your sales conversion rates. So again, looking at all that, how many sales are you getting across the line? And is there anything you can do to improve that? And we're going to look at that down in a few moments as well. Customer acquisition costs would come into this as well, which is very important in the B2B space. How much does it cost you to win a customer? So again, there are kind of some monetary goals that you might look at. You might also then, and I would strongly encourage you to look at your relevance to your buyers. Now, markets can change very, very quickly. Buyers' needs change very, very quickly. So even the buyers you were talking to maybe at the end of last year, maybe their needs have shifted quite just a little bit in the last 2 months or so. So check in. Are you still relevant to the market? Are you saying the right things? Another area to look at under this bucket would be the competitors in your space. Has a new competitor moved in? What are they saying? How do you compare to them? What can you respond out to the market? Or equally, has a competitor left? This happens all the time as well. Is there a gap for you to fill? So make sure you're getting, be you B2B or B2C, make sure you're speaking to your target buyers. Make sure they know why you are the best fit for them. There's no point in saying, oh yeah, we're much better than the competition, but not telling them how. So that relevance piece is very, very important as you check in now at the beginning of the year. The next step I'm going to encourage you to look at is to check in with your funnels. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with the funnels, I'm going to run you through. Again, B2B and B2C, you both have funnels. B2C funnel, I suppose, is a lot quicker because your buying is in seconds, you know? So the first piece here that I'm going to look at is looking more at the B2B funnels, but then I'll move on as well and show you, if you're in the consumer space, little tips on what you can do there as well. So understanding your B2B funnel. Again, you start off at the so you picture your funnel, you start off at the very beginning with your leads. Now, leads are mostly cold, right? Maybe you've been to an event and you chatted to somebody over a cup of coffee, you got their business card. You haven't had an engaging conversation with them. Maybe you've sponsored an event and you've got a list of people, although with GDPR, sometimes that's not working anymore. But you haven't really had meaningful conversations. They're your leads. They then filter down into your prospects. Now, your prospects, I bunch them into cold prospects and warm prospects. You're starting to have those conversations. You're telling them about the solution you can provide. You're understanding their problem. Maybe they're having a free trial of your solution, maybe, or you're talking about pricing. They're really interested. They then convert into sales, which feed down into your bottom line figure, your revenue figure. So it's very important that as a business owner, you know what those conversion rates are from one stage to the other, because that's going to help you plan out as well and help you navigate through potentially if there are shifts in the calendar, seasonality, maybe again depending on your business, Q1 might be booming, Q2 still quite good, Q3 drops off, maybe Q4 is a bit quiet, maybe Q4 is really busy for you. But it allows you to see that, to get that full overview of how your calendar works, what each quarter brings, so that you can plan accordingly. So how do you then figure out your conversion rates? Well, you reverse engineer the whole thing. You start with that end euro figure and you work backwards. So to get my target, my year-end target of X, whatever that might be, how many sales do I need? And then in order to get those sales, how many prospects do I need? And then last step, in order to get those prospects, how many leads do I need? And understanding that is really going to help you. And it's going to help make sure that your funnel is constantly being fed and that people are going down through it and getting to that converted level. So now I'm going to introduce you to the marketing funnel, slightly different. And again, very important that you understand both from a B2B and a B2C perspective, how it works. So top of the funnel is very much awareness. Now, what I would say to you here is, This isn't just about your buyers or potential buyers becoming aware of you. This is also them maybe becoming aware of a problem they have. I think sometimes as business owners, we kind of assume that our buyers, they know the problem they have and they're out looking for a solution all the time. Sometimes they're not. So this is the perfect opportunity for you as a business to ask the question, is this a problem for you? For example, I play a lot of tennis, and my poor old knees sometimes are aching. So, if I see tennis trainers for sale, okay, yeah. But if I read, you know, do you need extra support for that hard game? Oh, that's going to grab me in a little bit more. Equally, from a B2B perspective, if somebody asks me, is this a challenge for you? Are you looking to reduce costs? Yes, I am. Of course I am. That's going to grab me in. So again, when you're looking at and building up that awareness, keep that in mind. It's not just that you want them to know about you. You want to be the one to tell them about their problem so that they see you as a trusted advisor and then will engage with you more. Which then brings us, I suppose, to the next bit, the interest. So they're out there, they've identified they have a problem, they like what you're saying, they're interested, they're having a look at you a bit more, they're visiting your website, they're seeing, oh, what are you saying? They might start following you on social media. The next step then is engagement, right? So this is where maybe they sign up to your newsletter, or they do a free trial with you. They come into your store, they ask you questions. There's that engagement piece. Then they take action, they purchase from you, the best of all, right? But then the follow-up, the very, very important piece, which I'm going to speak about later on, is the loyalty. That is worth all the paid marketing you can possibly do. That loyalty piece, that returning piece, the advocacy, the fact that they go, oh my gosh, I had such a problem with this, and this business was the solution for me. They're brilliant. That peer-to-peer recommendation is priceless. So now some terms that you may hear about, along the way, top of the funnel. Top of the funnel is that very much that awareness piece, right? So it's the very top of your funnel there, as you can see. It's telling them, is this a problem for you? I have the solution for you. Have you tried this? The interest and engagement then is called the middle of the funnel. And then the final piece, the action and the loyalty, is the bottom of the funnel. And as you build out your marketing, it's important that you hit all these three different funnels, these different sections in the funnel. Because if you keep going awareness, 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 and you never ask for the sale, there's a chance you're going to miss it. Equally, if nobody's ever heard of you before and you're out there going, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me, they're like, I don't know who you are. I can't trust you. Equally, that loyalty piece at the end, that bottom of the funnel, as I said, worth more than any paid marketing can do for you. Grab it, nurture it, make it work for you. So it's very important as businesses that you understand how these two funnels work and you can work them to your advantage. So if we take a look at some of the areas, I'll start off with the B2B marketing funnel. Some activities then that might be top of the funnel, your SEO, right? Your search engine optimization. How findable are you? So if I go and I say, like that, my trainers, trainers for people with sore knees, do you pop up? If you don't, take a look at your keywords, have a look at what you can do. If you're in the B2B space, again, what's the solution you can bring to your clients, your buyers? Can you facilitate them to do something quicker, cheaper? If there's supply chain challenges that you can help them with, get it out there. Make sure you're searchable. Blogs are another great way of doing this, as indeed is social media. When we move to the middle of the funnel, then you might look for case studies, or maybe get them into email communications, or offer them a free trial of something. This works very well in the B2B space. Maybe if you've got technology or something, you might offer them a free trial of something. So, and again, case studies, they're showing, look, I did this before, and this business who was exactly like you was able to achieve X and Y. They're a great way to get that out there for the middle of the funnel. And then the bottom of the funnel, the testimonials, right? We're back again to that peer-to-peer advocacy. You know, again, you're building up the trust. People want to make sure, you know, okay, I think they're the right one for me, but are they? Before I hit that buy button, that's where this advocacy comes in. You might also do targeted outreach. So again, the kind of account-based marketing where you go out with specific offers directed at me. When we move into the B2C funnel, then top of it, again, your SEO, right? Websites are key at the moment. So make sure you're findable. Don't be hidden away. There's so many fantastic websites out there, but they're hidden because they're not found. So make sure you're engaging with your website people. Make sure your SEO is being looked at on a constant basis. Make sure your website is working the best it possibly can. Video is key. Everybody loves video now. You know, what was it? A picture is worth 1,000 words. A video is worth, I think, 5,000 or something. So really get that in there. And again, you're in the B2C space. There's that, you know, there's that fast moving. There's that you don't have to be serious all the time. There's a lot of things you can do with video. So really, I'd encourage you to get it out there. Social media ads, another way that you can get your, because with all the algorithms and everything, you're never sure what's actually going to show up and fill into their feed. So social media ads are a great way to make sure you are dropping into the feed of the people you want to get to. From the middle of the funnel, then you've got your newsletter. You know, most of the POS systems now at the moment will allow you to get your buyers at the till to sign up to a newsletter. It's another way to get them in there. Do behind the scenes, you know, gosh, we got, you know, what's in this big crate, just shipped, just arrived, you know, build up that, what's the word? Interest, and, you know, get people wondering, oh, what's going on here? Cart abandonment. Now, that's another area I would strongly advise everybody in the B2C space to have a look at. And again, your point of sale systems will have this capability. So please do reach out to whomever your provider is and make sure you're optimizing it. For those who don't know what cart abandonment is, it's literally if you have your website and people stick things into their cart and then leave them. Now, there may be different reasons for that. Maybe they're just kind of building up a wish list, so to speak, and then they whatever happens, they move off the website. Or maybe they genuinely want to buy, but then, you know, something happened and they got pulled away. If you can get back to them through emails, through social media, and say, hey, Lisa, you know, do you remember that red dress that you had in your cart? It's still there. Do you want it? Or, you know, come back and purchase or whatever. So again, cart abandonment, definitely something to take a look at. Bottom of the funnel, then, you're retargeting. What's that? That is when people land on your website and bounce off and you retarget them. So again, look at your websites, talk to your website people. That's something you can do either through Google Ads, through social media. And it doesn't need to be, you know, bombarding. It's just a gentle prod, come back and visit us again, because we never know what happens, you know, especially on a consumer. I can't tell you the amount of times, you know, I'm down getting dinner ready, waiting for the spuds to boil, and I'm on doing a bit of shopping. I'm like, oh, that's lovely. Pop it in. Next thing the doorbell goes, the kids are back from school, it's gone. I just need that gentle prod to get back in and make the purchase. Loyalty programs are another thing you might look at. And indeed, the reviews, back again to that peer-to-peer advocacy. Very important. So now we're kind of looking, so we've had a look at the funnels, we've had a look at the different activities. What if somebody's stuck in the funnel? What can you do? So sometimes they just need that little nudge, right? They just need that gentle little shove to get them to convert. But what is that nudge? So some things for all you B2B people out there, what I would say is maybe it's an opportunity for you as the business owner to get in contact with business owner to business owner and have that conversation. Hey, Bob, we spoke before Christmas. You said the time wasn't right for you. Calling you back now. Is now a good time to go? You know, really have that conversations. And that's no disrespect to your sales teams, but sometimes that owner to owner conversation is that little nudge. You know, you can kind of uncover things maybe and find ways to get people across the line. You might want to offer incentives, you know, special promotions, encourage quick signups. if you download our free trial today and sign up within 3 months, you get a percentage off. Or what I would also encourage you to look at here is perceived value. So again, you don't always have to give money off. What is there that your buyers perceive as being valuable that is of low cost to you? So maybe it's a training on a new product or service. Maybe it's a consultation. So again, don't always kind of go to money off, money off. See what's out there. What do you have that is of low cost to you that your buyers perceive as being valuable to them? That's a great hook as well. A bespoke event. Now, I have had great success with this in my past lives. We used to have what we literally called internally a hot prospect event. We'd bring those people who they were there. The line was in sight, but they just weren't signing the contracts. And we would invite them to a bespoke event with our key customers. And we'd let that peer-to-peer advocacy work. We wouldn't sit there and say, buy from us, buy from us. We let our customers who trust us, who know us, who have seen how our solutions work, talk and just share their experiences. And it was amazing how it just brought a lot of people across the line. So some things to think of there. For those of you then in the B2B space, back again, I'm talking about your website. Optimize your website. Make sure it is working as best as it possibly can be, both from its searchability and when folks go onto it, how they navigate through. Is it easy? Is it working for them? Can they do it on their smartphones? Please don't forget about that. The majority of people visit websites from their smartphones, so make sure it is rendered for mobile use. Streamline the buying process, eliminate barriers. So what kind of barriers might there be? Maybe folks aren't seeing delivery costs until they actually add something into their cart. So you can see how that would lead to cart abandonment, right? So I really like this, but I don't know how much it's going to cost. I go to my cart, ooh, that's a bit much. And then I jump off, but I leave it in the cart. That's not helping your figures. So make sure it's up and easy to buy. Anything that you need to say to them, delivery costs or returns policies, make sure they're upfront and easy to find. Have clear call to actions. Again, sometimes as businesses, we assume folks know the steps we want them to take. And sometimes that's not the case. So lay it out, make it as easy as possible for people. The easier it is, the more you can kind of bring them through that flow, the more they will actually do it. Now, step 3 then. This is what I was talking about earlier on, focusing on your existing customers. Now, there's many stats out there. I've seen between 5 and 7, but the fact of the matter is it is easier and cheaper to sell to an existing customer than it is to acquire a new one. And yet, 44% of companies admit that they've a greater focus on acquisition and only 18% focus on retention. Now, for me, that is a wasted opportunity. So if you take nothing away from this webinar here today, please, please, please go back, have a look at your existing customers. How can you nurture them? How can you get more from them? Because they really are your low-hanging fruit in my view. So from a B2B perspective, then let's have a look at what you might be able to do. Keep nurturing, right? I see a lot of businesses, they fight so hard for a deal. They get that contract across the line and then they totally forget about the customer. And it's only when the contract's up for renewal, they're back and they're like, hey, Mary, are you ready to sign? Well, I haven't heard from you in the last 12 months. Keep nurturing, ring them up. And maybe you want to have quarterly business reviews with them, or you want to touch base with them. You might say, hey, look, how's that, that product or service going? Did you hear we've got a new item coming in, a new widget that's going to make you go faster? You were saying to us when we met that this was a challenge for you. We heard about this. Make sure that they know that they are important to you. And then it's a no-brainer when it comes up to contract renewals. You might want to incentivize contract renewals. So again, back to that perceived value. It doesn't always have to be money off the bottom line. Maybe if you sign up on month 11 instead of month 12, you'll get a complimentary training session. And complimentary, by the way, not free, right? Free denotes zero cost. Complimentary, there's a cost involved, but you're giving it to them complimentary. You know, find new ways to try and encourage those contract renewals. Promote upgrades or refreshes. Again, you know, not immediately, but you've put a lot of effort into winning this customer. You understand what their problems are, right? So you have a good idea of the different solutions that your business can give to them. So tell them about that. You know, they're not supposed to know about all the great things you can do. You need to tell them. So again, be it through quarterly business reviews, or be it through just, you know, picking up the phone and asking them, hey, how's that problem going? Or, you know, you mentioned this was a problem for you. Have you ever tried such and such? Or we've got a new product coming on the line. I'd love you to be the first one to try it out. You know, build up that relationship. Account-based marketing is another way to do. I've had great success with that with the client, where we literally sat down with the list of clients and you know, cross-referenced new products and services that they don't already have that would be of value to them, and then went out to them with that specific offer. So really got in and said, look, Lisa, you know, we think this is good for you because this will help you, you know, run faster, cheaper, whatever it might be. So that's another thing you might want to consider. For those of you then in the B2B space, you might want to introduce loyalty programs or exclusive offers. I know a lot of the boutiques, for example, down here, I'm down in Wicklow Town, and a lot of the boutiques do kind of VIP nights when they get their new collections in, you know, and there's Prosecco and Nibblies, and there's a bit of a fashion show, and we all have a bit of a laugh. It's a great experience. It builds that community. And then, you know, if you're, you know, in the head, oh, I need to buy such and such, I need to get a present for something, for somebody, your store is then front of mind. Offer layaway options. Again, you know, you've brought people into your store, you've brought them online, then help them get across the line. And if budgets, if pricing is a challenge, this might be a way to mitigate that. And again, you're showing that, you know, you value them as a customer, you really want them as a customer, and you're offering them a solution. Upsell at the till. This is so important as well. You know, make sure all your staff are aware of the upsell opportunities. So when somebody comes up, you know, with that beautiful red dress, have you checked out our shoes? Or, gosh, you know, there's a handbag up there. Wouldn't that look gorgeous with that dress? It doesn't have to be, you know, overtly selling, but just kind of, you'd never know what might drop off. So again, you know, I'd encourage you to do that. Personalized marketing campaigns. Again, we were back to the newsletters and everything at your point of sale. Sign people up, you know, let them know what's coming in. You might want to segment your customer base, especially if you're selling different things. For example, there's a fabulous sports store down here, and they segment the runners from the cyclists, and you get mails that are pertinent to you, you know. So that's another thing you might look to do. Now, the next thing I'm going to encourage you to do then, step 4, is to look at the marketing activities that are working for you. Now, we're very early on in the new year. So of course, you know, if you want to experiment, that's absolutely fine. If you want to try something new, go for it. Again, because don't forget, you've got your goals and objectives in place now, right? And you know what success looks like for you, so you're able to measure. So with all those foundations in place, absolutely try out a few things, but don't forget the activities that are actually driving that revenue for you, those high impact marketing activities. So what's worked well in the past? You know, take a look and see, list all the different things you've done, take a look at the results, what has worked for you in the past. Prioritize the marketing that has helped drive those conversions. So again, you know, when we look at the funnel, we're going to have our awareness, we're going to have our middle of the funnel stuff, and we're going to absolutely need those conversions. So make sure that that funnel is constantly being filled, and anything that is driving revenue across the line, that is helping people to convert, keep that going, keep that going. Use your data. Again, there's so much data out at the moment. Use your analytics, use your Google Ads, use, you know, whatever platforms you're using, your MailChimp, your whatever you may be using. Make sure you understand the data that is available to you and use it to make good decisions for the future, because there's no point in saying, I think that activity might have worked well, but I'm not too sure. The data will show you. Don't get distracted. As we go through the year, you're going to read articles, you're going to meet other business people. They're like, oh God, this worked brilliantly for us. I can't believe you're not doing it. As I said, by all means, give it a go. That's absolutely fine, but don't get distracted. Don't take your foot off the pedal of what's really working well to try something brand new. Make sure that you can have that mix so that your tried and trusted are running all the time, and then you can, you know, pop in the little new ones every now and then. Then you might also want to look at, and again, this is for B2C as well, some of the areas that you might want to look at is email campaigns. Are they working? Check your open rates, check your click rates if people are clicking, and don't forget as well that your email campaigns should be used to bring people to the website. So, you know, don't have them working in silo to each other. Bring people back to the website where they can then get information, download something, go through to purchase. So make sure they are actually targeted and you're driving people through. Your remarketing ads that I spoke about earlier on. So when people go onto your website, take a look at all that. You know, are they getting stuck somewhere? How long are they staying? How can I remarket them and get them back on again? It could either be, you know, hey, you know, don't forget, you know, this, whatever you were looking at, this product or service, or you may want to go out with an offer to them, or you may want to go out with something downloadable. There's many different ways, but definitely remarketing ads are a great way to go. Social media as well. We've spoken about social media, maybe promoting, you know, you're going to have that awareness piece, which is basically, is this a challenge for you? This is who we are. But then you need to delve down as well. And you need to say, right, these are our products and services, and these are what they do. So take a look at social media as well. Your paid ads. So again, if they're working for you, maybe now might be the opportunity to add a bit more euros to the budget. And again, watch it. You know, you add a few euros on. Give it a month, give it 2 months, take a look at that data. If it's not working, you can reduce your budget again. It doesn't have to be, you know, one or the other. You might also do kind of incrementally or rolling, again, depending on your buying cycle and seasonality and how your buyers engage with you. So again, your data is going to show you all that. So a high impact marketing checklist then. So when you're looking at all these and you're thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to figure out what's working and what's not? Look and see, when you look at the full gamut of the marketing activities you're doing, do they directly target your key audience? And this is where knowing your target buyers is key, right? Because if you're trying to be all things to all people, you end up being nothing to nobody. So make sure you understand who your target buyers are and you're speaking to them. Now, that's not to say that, you know, people won't come in anyway, you know. So again, if I go back to the tennis trainers, do you know what I mean? Just because maybe I don't play tennis, maybe I'm a walker, and maybe the support function that we were talking about earlier on will grab me. So don't worry too much about kind of, you know, too narrow. Now, I suppose you can get a little bit too narrow, but understanding your buyers, making sure you're speaking to them will really help you and will help guide the activities that you're investing in at the end of the day. Are your activities focused on driving revenue? At the end of the day, even from the awareness right the way down, the bigger game has to be to get revenue across the line, right? We're all in business to make revenue. If you don't make revenue, there is no business. So make sure you are laser focused. Everything that you need, that you're doing, the bigger picture has to be down to convert. Has it worked in the past? And this is something, you know, again, marketing isn't a turn on, turn off. It's constantly moving. It's constantly evolving. Sometimes we shelve activities because they weren't right at that period of time in time. But that doesn't mean they're dead. maybe now is the time to give it another go. Maybe it was just the wrong time, or maybe with a few tweaks, it could be more impactful. So again, you know, take a look at those maybe activities in the past that were stopped for whatever reason. Don't fall into the, you know, the pit of, oh, well, we've always done it this way, so we're going to continue doing it that way. You know, try and see, is there something out there that we can readopt, maybe tweak, and see if it'll work. Can it be implemented quickly? Now, again, I see a lot of businesses do this, you know, oh, yeah, when Easter, I think, is the end of April this year. So they'll start their Easter egg campaign at the beginning of April. You know, that's no good. You need to start planning ahead of time so that you know what the implementation period is, and to make sure that you're up and running in time for whatever you want to do. So I'd encourage you, as part of your plans, as part of your goal and objectives planning, sit down and think, right, do we have big events coming up? You know, is Easter a big time for us, or have we a big product launch? And reverse engineer, right, what do we need to do to get ready for that period of time so that we can pull the trigger and it will work effectively? Is it cost effective? Now, again, you're investing in marketing, right? Please don't ever think of marketing as a cost. If you do, it's not being done properly for you. Marketing is an investment in your business. And if you look at your marketing and you're thinking, oh, geez, I'm just throwing money down the drain, it's not working properly for you. So I would strongly encourage you, you know, take a look. Again, your data is there, use it, see what's working, what's your return on investment. If I'm investing this, what am I getting out of it? That's very, very important. How are you going to track your results? Again, this brings back to your goals and objectives, right? So you can see how important that foundation is. You know, you're here and you want to go to here. Then that helps you track all the activities that you're doing. So you can see, again, the return on investment. How am I going to track the reports? Who's going to do it as well? Don't forget, that's very important. It's all well and good saying, oh yeah, well, this is what success looks like for me. This is what I want to hear. But who's going to do that for you? Make sure that's all laid out so that you can see exactly how things are progressing. So now, in true late style fashion, there is a high impact marketing checklist for everyone in the audience. So I'll pop that on to Kieran and to Lauren afterwards, and they can send it out to you all. And by all means, if you've any questions, you know, come back to me on that. So step 5, I hope you're still with me. I hope you're hanging in there. The last step then is to measure and adjust. So I'm sure you're all aware of the saying, what gets measured gets managed. So I would strongly encourage you, again, I'm back to those goals and objectives. I'm back to knowing what success looks like for you, and make sure that you're constantly measuring all the activities you're doing. Some suggestions might be to implement weekly or fortnightly reviews, you know, especially if you're using outside support. Get them to give you a review once a week, once a fortnight, once a month, whatever works for you, so that you can check in and see, right, what's being done? Is it working well? It's also very important, and I say this as somebody who works, you know, as an outsourced support for businesses. It's important that your outsourced partners know what's going on in the business as well, because when they do, they can make suggestions to you and they can bring their experience to you and their expertise. But if they're working in a silo, they're just kind of, you know, finger in the air job. So, you know, those weekly reviews, they don't have to be long and involved, 30 minutes, an hour tops, allow you both to share, and means you get the best from your partner. Use the data. You know, I've said that a good few times now. There's a lot of data. That's the great thing about digital marketing. You can really delve in, be it your Google Analytics, your Google Ads, your MailChimp. It's packed with data. Your POS machines, you know, or your systems. There's so much data out there. Make sure you check in, make sure you understand it. If you don't, reach out to people. You know, all your support people are all willing to help you. So make sure you get the most of it. Ask the questions. See, can you get weekly reports? Can you get monthly reports? How can you dip in to get a better overview of your investment and how it's working for you? Prioritize on conversions, right? At the end of the day, I'm back again. It's all on that euro figure. So how can I get those conversions across the line? You know, how can I make sure that I can see money is coming in based on my investment? That really is key. So I'm going to run through taking all those learnings now. I've got two case studies to finish off the session with. The first is a B2B case study. So I was working with a SaaS company. They were offering project management software. They had steady website traffic, but they found that their trial signups were a bit low and they wanted to try and work on that. And they found that despite the paid ads, only 3% of visitors were actually converting. And they had a target in their mind for 5%. So what did we do? The first thing I did was analyze the website traffic. So I saw that visitors were bouncing off the pricing page. So that told me immediately something wasn't right here. Either the messaging was wrong or the price point was not on par. There was something up. So we revamped the messaging to focus on the pain points. So again, you know, making sure that the people who were coming onto the website understood the value of the solution they were getting. Don't forget the value of the solution, right? That's very, very important for buyers. We simplified the pricing. I brought up a comparison chart. So again, when the buyers were coming on, they knew exactly what they were getting. They understood which product was right for me. How does it compare to the competition? So it was a lot more kind of laid out. And we added a limited time discount if you signed up for a trial, if you signed up after the trial, I should say. So the results were great. Our conversion rates increased over a 30-day period, which was wonderful. The clearer messaging helped increase signups because, again, people understood what they were signing up to. So it reduced that barrier. We decreased the churn rates as well. So people were more confident that, you know, they were getting the right solution for them, so, which meant then that they were happy to sign on for the actual package and to purchase. From a retailer point of view, then, I was working with a home decor supplier. And up to Christmas, they found that, again, their challenge was they'd low e-commerce conversions. And they had a very, very aggressive target to get 20% increase sales by 20% coming up to the Christmas period. So the first thing, again, go back to the data, right? It doesn't lie. It's very, very important. And analyzed, you know, what was going on, what might have been causing the lack of conversion rates. And I saw that there was really high cart abandonment rates and low conversions from new buyers. Now, I know I've said to you before that, you know, focusing in on your existing buyers is very important, but that's not to say you still need to do a bit of acquisition work, right? So we updated their messaging and I came up with this kind of like transform your home, limited time only, you know, the old who's at home store and more, when it's gone, it's gone. Build that sense of urgency, you know, get them across the line, make sure they know they really need this. We implemented cart abandonment rates, or sorry, cart abandonment emails, pardon me, to remind folks again, you know, hey, Lisa, don't forget that rug is still in your basket, or, you know, sign up or purchase now, you know, for that discount, don't forget. Just those little bits of encouragement, again, to try and bring people back. We launched a discount for first-time buyers and grouped bundles together. That worked really, really well for us. So another thing for you to think about if you're in that B2C e-commerce space, you know, think of putting bundles together. And that can be for anything from furnishing through to fashion, through to sportswear. You can always put a bundle together. And again, a bit of a cross-sell or a bit of an upsell opportunity as well. And then we ran targeted social media campaigns. So again, we knew who our buyers were and we went after them on the social media channels where they were. And I will pop that in here as well. Please, you know, with social media, it takes a lot of work to do it right. Make sure you're on the channels where your buyers are, not the channels where you feel comfortable. Make sure you're where your buyers are. That will get you the best impact. So the results then, we increased sales, not quite where they wanted to be, but we weren't far off it. We implemented a sequence in the cart abandonment. So not only were you emailed once, but you were twice, 3 times, very gently and not bang, bang, bang over time. So that helped us as well try and get our recovery rate up. The first time shopper discounts and the bundles led to an increase in customer purchases. Oh, sorry. So everyone was happy in the end. So in summary then, we've gone through an awful lot and I can't see you all, but I hope you're all still with me. So in summary, step 1, the absolute foundation. Where are you now and where are you going to? What are your goals and objectives for this year? Focus on your conversions, right? What can you do to get people across the line, and look at your funnels. How can you get people through those funnels? Maximize your existing customers. They know you, they trust you, they've bought from you, they're seeing the benefits of your product or service. Hang on to that, grab it, get more from it, get them to work for you. Look at activities that deliver. By all means, test, but keep your eye on, keep your budgets on those activities that are delivering revenue to your bottom line. And check in regularly and tweak. You know, as I said before, marketing isn't a turn on, turn off. It constantly evolves. It needs tweaking. Make sure you're doing that either with your in-house teams or with your outsourced partners. So I'll finish up with a quote from Maya Angelou: do the best you can until you know better. And then when you know better, do better. So that's me, folks. There's all my contact details. I'd love you to link in with me on LinkedIn. My email is there, and by all means, get in touch if you have any questions.